compare Team Aeneas to Team Odysseus. We're going to be having a short get-together in a nice air-conditioned room with lots of drinks and food and good music. You know, got the Lady Gaga and the plain white tees going and, you know, all that Nickelback. I saw a Nickelback video at the fitness center. It was really amazing. Are you in this class? I haven't had anybody pull that on me in years. Who's next? No. Spring 1980. Greek 102. Everybody in the class has survived Greek 101. We're all sitting there in the Greek 102, and the professor's already up there at the table kicking our butts about Greek 102, writing Greek letters and Greek words all over the board, and expecting us to know something about it. 45 minutes into the class, this kid raises his hand and says, "Excuse me, is this Spanish 102? And the professor, no, and he got up and walked out. This was almost as good. But if you were going to, if Odysseus was throwing a party and Aeneas was throwing a party down in the underworld, whose would you go to?
I'll go with Odysseus. He knows how to party.
You have to go to one of them?
Or you get to go to Gilgamesh's. I figured that would help. Who would you pick?
Odysseus.
Why? Oh, why? Yeah, then they all be quiet. What?
I don't want to die, so probably not Odysseus.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't survive after you get to the
Evil twin, what is your name? Trent. Whose party would you go to?
Probably Aeneas.
You're weird. Why?
Because everyone that was with Odysseus died during the Odyssey.
Yeah, he wouldn't be have that party alive.
Okay, let's say you don't die. Let's say you're just going to go a little informal meet and greet session, you know, over at the Union. You know, there's a room for Aeneas and a room for Odysseus, Trent. Who do you go to visit? Who do you go to hang out with?
Probably Odysseus.
Why?
I know more about him.
You mean you didn't read the Aeneid?
I did, but I got like halfway through before I realized we were in the underworld. I just didn't absorb anything while I was reading it.
It's all right. Who would you pick, Kayla? Who would be cooler to hang out with? Why? I mean, I'm not arguing. Just tell me why.
I just think like he'd be nice to talk to.
Okay, Janet.
I would hang out with Odysseus.
Okay.
Because didn't we make him like Shannon Beckham or something like that?
Yeah, I forgot about Channing Beckham. You know, what is Channing's real last name?
Aeneas. We made Channing Beckham.
Okay, then the other guy.
Yeah, Aeneas. We made him Channing.
They want to hang out with the guy who's cute.
Yeah.
hang out with Odysseus because they might be monsters, and I want to go poke out a giant's eye.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Who do you think would be more interesting? There's more sex in Odysseus.
I know where you're going.
That's true. I mean, you know, he gets with the ladies all the time. Sammy, who would you pick?
Odysseus. I'm sorry, my bad. I haven't read the one yet, so I don't know anything about him.
Well,
And his seems to be, from what I know, he's been traveling around, so.
Well, I mean, he's fun. He's a liar. You know, this is what he did when he was dropped down on his own end. Listen to this. When Odysseus got to the island of Ithaca, the Odyssey was only half over. And you're thinking, oh man, this second half is going to be boring because he's already seen the interesting monsters and all of that crap. He's just got to go in and say, "Hi, Penny, I'm home," or not. Because, let's see, how many people in this fine room are married? Rich, me. Okay, you're not married. You're married to Channing Beckham. Okay, I mean, can you ever admit that your husband's right? Can you ever admit that your wife is right? No, they teach us this at husband and wife camp. They are a lovely old married couple. They've been separated for 20 years, and they desperately want to be with each other again. They desperately want to get with each other again, because when they do get it together, they get together. But each one wants the other one to say, "Oh, I miss you so much." Huh? Well, yeah, and neither is Odysseus, you know? So they have to spend like about 12 books dancing around each other, but it's pretty good. It starts out very promisingly when Odysseus is landing. He wakes up, "Hey, I'm on my home island of Ithaca. And look, there's a strange-looking shepherd who is probably the goddess of Athena in disguise." Because that's his pal. And it indeed is the goddess Athena in disguise. The goddess Athena in disguise says to him, "Hey, where are you from?" And he starts telling his big lie. "I'm from ancient Egypt. I was shipwrecked and kidnapped by wolves, you know." And he just lies, and Athena just stands there dressed as a shepherd and just admires the way he lies. Such a lying sack of poop. I just love this guy. If I weren't a virgin. That's the kind of guy Odysseus is. And then when he's making his way back home in disguise, right? He's dressed up as a beggar, some scrawny old beggar. He goes into his own house to see what people are saying and thinking about him. He's nosy. He wants to find out what people have been doing. He wants to find out if his wife has been true to him. Has he been true to his wife?
Only in his mind.
Only to the men in the class. So while he's doing that, the first person to recognize Odysseus, the first creature to recognize Odysseus, is his old dog, Argus. He's sitting on his pile of poop outside the palace, and he's got fleas biting him, and he never did get to go hunting because Odysseus went off to war. He's just thinking, and he sees Odysseus at a distance, and his tail gives half a wag.
That really should have been dead.
And then he dies.
Okay. It's like 20-year-old dog.
But he was staying awake until Odysseus comes home. Oh, and this is great. Some guy says, "Hey, look at the beggar man there. He's pretty funny. Ha ha. Watch me." He said, "Can I have something to eat?" says Odysseus in disguise as a beggar. "Yeah, here." And he takes the thigh of the bull of heaven and throws it at him. Said, "Here, you want some meat? I'm going to give you some meat." And the old beggar said, "That rice is very nice. Put up your duke." So the suitor is going to just beat the crap out of this old beggar, right? But we know the beggar's Odysseus. He uses his super kung fu moves on him and just beats him down into the ground, like it was like an MMF extravaganza. Tosses him out of the octagon. Next. You can't tell me that Penelope, who did see all of this, didn't say, "Here comes my man. Here comes my man." But she can't admit it, okay? Because that would be giving up, okay? And he can't say, "Hi, Penny, I'm home," because that's giving up. These are the sorts of things that old married couples do to each other. So they foof around for another, 6 books or so, until finally Penelope says, and I quote, "A girl gets lonely. I've decided that I'm going to have a bow and arrow contest tomorrow at my house. There's going to be 12 axe handles set up, and you manly suitors can take turns drawing the bow of my late husband Odysseus, my dear departed husband Odysseus, and shooting it through the 12 holes in the axe handles. Whoever can do that will be the next Mr. Penelope. And I will be his queen." And they're all thinking MILF City, okay? So, they all are lining up the next day to, take a shot at the ball of the suitors and all that. And this old beggar is in the line of people who want to shoot the bow and arrow too. By this time, it's so blatant that even their kid Telemachus knows that it's Dad. And he's saying things like, "Mom, that's Dad. Daddy." Yeah, and Penelope's going, be quiet, boy. I'm picking a future husband. And so comes the day for all of the lordly suitors with their buff muscles and their pythons and all of that to string the bow of the late Odysseus and shoot it through 12 axe heads. First one, Lord Wifty Butt III, comes up there, picks up the bow. I just made that up. Here, Sir Thomas, you try it. And Sir Thomas, Lord Taylor. And the guys are all passing over. They can't even draw the damn bow. That's how much they compare to Odysseus. And Telemachus is still hopping and down. Mom, that's Dad. Humph. The old beggar, scrawny old beggar says, I'll take a shot at that. Oh, this ought to be good. Yeah, Lady Penelope will be really jazzed to spend the rest of her life with that old bag person there. The old guy, he picks up the bow. You got to be careful of us old guys. We are capable of great things. Draws the bow. Thwap! Shoots it through 12 axe heads. And then opens up on all the suitors. And from this side, the noble swineherd Eumaeus, who he's been hanging out with, bing, 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 bing. So he's got the right flank taken care of. Telemachus has got the bow and arrow going on the left flank, and they're just shooting down all 42 suitors, while Athena, who can't shoot the suitors because she's a girl, just kind of like orchestrates the whole thing and kind of directs. One over there, shoot him. So now they're knee-deep in gore. All the suitors have been killed. And Odysseus, the beggar Odysseus, comes up to Penelope in the best Western tradition. Hey, do people even watch Western movies anymore? I never did like them myself. But I think this is how they always end. Well, little lady, taking care of your suitor problem. Not going to ask a marry a fine lady like you. Guess I'll just be moseying on. You know, give me a bath and a little bit to eat. Warm place to sleep. Be on my way in the morning, ma'am. And Telemachus is still hopping up and down and pointing, and he's probably catatonic by now. And Penelope goes, I suppose it's only fitting. Maids, bathe him and feed him, and then he can sleep on the bed that my late husband Odysseus made for me, and which I put on the porch. You did what? You lying succubus. You took that bed that I cut out of a tree trunk and brought into our bedroom and stuffed it with a little soft sedge grass pillow and where we made little Telemachus, and you put it on the porch. And Penelope goes, I win. Dudes, that's how women operate. She took the bed. She claimed that she had taken the bed that they made Telemachus on and put it out on the front porch for guests to sleep on. And he just lost his feces. And then once they get that out of the way, he doesn't even wait to take a bath. He doesn't even say where he's been. They go upstairs and they make love. And then they start talking about what's going on. Well, yeah, there were a couple of ladies, Penny, but you understand, I had to. And then the next day, they go to Odysseus' old dad, and what do you think they're going to tell Odysseus' old dad? Your name is? In the green 5+. John? What are they going to say?
I don't know.
What would you tell your dad if you came home from 20 years?
Hey.
Well, that's right, you're a kid, okay. And what else would you say?
I'd probably tell him what happened.
Well, that's fair enough. Your name is still Elena, right? What would you say to your dad?
Surprise! I'm back.
You know what Odysseus did? He disguised his voice, disguised himself, and said, sorry to report that your son Odysseus is dead. What the hell? Because that's the kind of guy Odysseus is. I don't know, the best I figure his wife kicked his butt so badly in the previous book, in The Tale of Wits, that he decided to go medieval on his poor old dad. But this is my point, because where Odysseus is kind of a fun catabatic hero, he talks to his mom and he shoots the breeze with various dead people that he knew from the Trojan War. Aeneas is kind of like a robot. How many of you got through it all the way? Thomas, did you enjoy it?
Not at all.
Okay, your name is still Trent.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I know.
Does it have any redeeming values whatsoever that you can pick out? That would make me so happy. Janet, did you read it? Huh? Rebecca?
Started it, but then I was like, this is horrible.
It's what?
Horrible.
What's so horrible about it? It's okay to say it's horrible.
It's very bland. Boring.
What would you like to see in a catabasis besides Channing Beckham? Jack, I see you back there. Where are you? You're hiding. Jack, what could liven this catabasis up for Aeneid? Because really, I need your help. This is going out over the air. It's going to be spinning around. I'm afraid to ask you, Camille, but I will get to you. I want to motivate people to read the Aeneid, this book 6 of the Aeneid.
I didn't read it yet. I thought we were going to go with the other stories still.
Great Fluffy. Go ahead, Camille. I'm desperate.
Say if I could compare it to something, reading the Aeneid versus the Odyssey is like watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off without Ferris Bueller. It's like it's just Cameron.
I like
It's just like what?
It's like it's just Cameron.
I never watched that movie.
Oh my god.
I'm old. Okay, is it, you know where this is going, is it a catabasis?
Yes.
You're just saying that. I mean, it's almost as if you're just saying that. No! Is it a catabasis? Yes!
The underworld versus the real world. It takes a day off.
Okay, anytime that the underworld is the real world is a great catabasis. Keep going. But somebody who's not late, because I trust you. Who else? Who else wants to? Remember, I said you all have to talk. Anybody else want to tell me what's so catabasis-like about it? No, not you, Sam.
About Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah.
Cameron finally wakes up.
Who is Cameron?
Best friend.
The one that has.
Does he die?
No. You have to watch the movie.
He tries to?
Yes, he tries to.
How does he try to die? What is your name? I'm giving you extra credit. Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy.
He jumps in the pool, it just like hangs out underwater until
No,
they
not
jump
the
in.
pool. Hot tub.
No, there's a hot tub they put into the pool.
Yeah, it's called the hot tub, they have a pool.
What?
I may have to watch this. And who's the girl in the movie? There's no babe in the movie?
Yes.
Who-
Very good girlfriend.
Who's the eye candy?
Me and Sarah. It's the 80s. Oh my goodness.
They had Molly Ringwald back then, didn't they?
Yeah.
She was so pretty in pink. But I like the song better than the movie. So what does he learn?
Cameron learned something. Barrett's not so much. He doesn't learn much.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but does Ferris Bueller learn anything?
He's more like
No,
Bart.
not at all.
Yeah. He's very much like Odysseus.
No, does anybody learn anything?
Cameron
Cameron
does.
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 What does he learn?
At the end, he finally decides to take responsibility for all his
Ferris'
actions and everything
sister.
he's done.
And that's to
Instead
live
of
his
letting
life.
Ferris
His
take
brother
blame.
didn't live in fear.
Okay, somebody bring it, and I'll watch it. Okay, good.
I can march. I'll bring it.
Next. So you would mostly rather hang around with Odysseus than Aeneas.
As long as Penelope is there. She's in the book.
Well, and that's another thing too. In Aeneas, I mean, in the whole dang A55, Odyssey, with the exception of Odysseus and Zeus, everybody with any brains is female. And in the, and in the knockdown, drag 'em out battle of wits, where the smartest male in the whole poem and the smartest woman in the whole poem lock wits, who wins? She kicks his butt. There's all sorts of interesting women to talk to down there in the underworld. Who does Aeneas talk to?
His late lover.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Dido, but she doesn't say anything.
At least
She's a little resentful.
calls a woman to kill themselves.
Well, and I mean, that's kind of the thing for me too, Devi, is that, I mean, the people that he talks to really aren't even that interesting. Okay, Charon's kind of a jerk, okay? He grumbles and stuff like that. So what? He finds out about all the great sinners. He finds out that when you die, you are rewarded or punished. That's kind of a new idea, by the way. Lead a good life, or you will be punished. But really, you know, basically it's big parade of famous Romans who are never going to be born if Aeneas doesn't get on the stick and found Rome. The one really interesting female character to pop up in the whole dang underworld just takes one look at him and just gets the heck out of there. It doesn't float my boat either. But then I've got to ask you, and I mean I've got to ask you because I need to have it set on camera by somebody who's not me. Why did Virgil write the Aeneid in the first place?
Torture us in the future.
That is the best answer. Jackson?
Was it Octavius who commissioned him to write an epic?
He was commissioned by Octavius, later known as Augustus F. Caesar. Okay, somebody who is neither Lay nor Jackson, want to pick it up from there. Bethany? What do you got? Why did he write it? What's it supposed to prove? Taylor?
I think it was Rome wouldn't be as good as Greece because they had the Odyssey and they needed something good too.
There is definitely the Roman inferiority complex at work. The Romans have an inferiority. We conquered them in so many wars, but they're so much more cultured than we are. Absolutely, Taylor. By all means, let us write poetry that's better than the Iliad or Odyssey. It doesn't work. It comes close at its best moments, but it doesn't really work. That's one thing. What else? Who else has something for me? No, Lay, you're wonderful. You've done your part to get us out of this hellish classroom. I need somebody else to talk to me. Help, Dylan, what do you got? You can tell me why it sucks, I don't care.
Because like maybe the Odyssey was like all like females had the intelligence, so they wanted
Okay, yeah, the characters are believable in the Odyssey. You know, when, go ahead.
Sorry, is the question why isn't it as good?
Yeah, I'll take that. Janet?
I was gonna go along with what you were saying. The Odyssey has like more personality and
Well, like take, for example, when Calypso has to give Odysseus back. Does she say, I, humble female goddess that I am, bow to your manly godlike wisdom and send this guy back? No, she bees and moans and says, oh yeah, great. You know, you gods, you know, you change yourself into animals and do it with mortal women all the time. They got to sit back and enjoy it. But, you know, let a goddess get her hands on a guy, and it's also, no, Cal, you got to give her back. I won't even get into Circe. I mean, Odysseus is the kind of guy, you know, when the sirens are, you know, going, ah. Do you know about Odysseus and the sirens?
Yes.
Okay, somebody tell me from this corner of the room about Odysseus and the sirens. Hunter, you know about them? Well, tell me kind of. Huh?
Weren't they just a bunch of like pretty women?
And?
Thank you for the Roy Orbison reference. I appreciate it.
Thank you for getting it. What do the sirens do, Rebecca?
Don't they lure men to like go to wherever they are and sink their ship?
Yeah, sure.
They sing beautifully. What is the most beautiful song a woman can sing? I really don't know. What? Stop it.
It's a song. It's a song.
Cotton Eye Joe?
No.
But it's just so beautiful, it bewitches the men. I must go and swim and stuff like that. What does Odysseus do? He doesn't tie himself to the mast, Jackson, because that won't work. I know, I'm just having a little fun with somebody who has already earned his A for today in class. Basically, he has himself lashed to the mast and makes all the men stick wax in their ears so they can't hear anything. This guy thirsts to live. You know, he's just a regular person, you know, who gets kind of, beat up by his wife intellectually, but I kind of miss that. Aeneas could have been made out of cardboard. I hate to disrespect Aeneas, but it's so by the book, public affairs. How does Aeneas model the public affairs mission? If you can tell me how Aeneas models the public affairs mission, I'll let you out of here.
I'm not allowed to talk.
And Lay is not allowed to, well, you can talk, I'm just not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
No, and you just got muzzled too, Jackson. I'm looking for somebody who hasn't said anything. You are my countryman. What is your name? Shane. How does Aeneas reflect the public affairs mission? I'm desperate. Anything. What is the public affairs mission? Is he an ethical leader? Who said yes? Your name is? Who said yes?
Somebody over there said it.
Okay, what is so ethical about his leadership style? Tell me one, Karen, tell me one ethical leadership thingy he did. Well, no, you have to tell me something specific. This is college. Okay, he does what's he supposed to do?
He goes and finds Rome.
He what? This will teach you not to listen to everything somebody tells you, no matter how smart she thinks she is. Okay, he turned his back on Dido. He was having high times with Dido. Okay, he would have been happy. I mean, Dido is a very capable and beautiful woman who's already the queen of her own famous city. You know, it would have been much more fun and easy for, a little light studying duty here and there and just being, Mr. Dido. He could have done that. He was inclined to. But no, he has to tell Dido, I can't commit, and go found Rome. How happy is he about going down to the underworld? You can't be happy. I mean, if you're, yay, I'm going down to the underworld. Hurrah, I'm going to Faculty Senate today. Huzzah, another hour-long committee meeting. No, nobody wants to do this kind of crap. Janet, yes?
Something else. He does community engagement through mingling with other cultures. Right?
Damn! Let's give her a hand, and not just a golf clap. Yeah! What cultures does he interact with? Well, yes, and does he have a high opinion of the Greeks?
No.
But I wouldn't either. If they all just kind of like invaded Milwaukee and burned it to the ground, I'd be kind of mad at them. Yeah, and he's actually going to have to learn a whole lot more cultural competence as he lands on the Italy and actually meets the people who are already there. And Janet, you have a big glowing fluorescent letter A next to your name for your participation in class. You can join Lay and Jackson in the Nappy Time Club. Tell me something, Sam. Tell me anything.
Hi.
You are now in the nappy, well, that sounds awful. Nap Time Club. Okay, how else does Aeneas reflect the public affairs mission besides? What is your name? Chris, what do you got?
I had nothing. I just read the first probably like 8 paragraphs.
Well, tell me about what you read in the first 8 paragraphs. Tell me anything.
I just remember being very confused and mentioning how like the second coming of Achilles was there.
There
And
you go.
I didn't really understand what anything meant though, so I was.
Well, may I ask, how is that different from life? I don't understand. I understand less and less as I get older. But you mentioned the second Achilles. Anybody but Taylor can answer the question, what's the importance of a second Achilles? Hunter.
He was great before, well, great in their terms, so he'll probably be great again. So he's kind of like a god among men. It's going to be
Very, very good. Just as Achilles was the greatest of the Greeks because he was the best action hero and killed the most guys, Aeneas has kind of got that too. It's kind of like, I don't know, Mitt Romney breakdancing or something like that. I don't know, I got to stop that because I'm getting sucked up into the politics thing again. I mean, my favorite was Michael Dukakis riding a tank. That was the absolute best.
That bushwhacker out there on the boat.
Oh, there's just so much of this good stuff. It's just like taking candy from a baby. But, you know, he's trying to get Aeneas some props, okay? It's like, well, no, I'm going to stop that. How does Aeneas show ethical leadership in other ways besides turning his back on Dido? He founds Rome. What else? This is something, by the way, hint, hint, that Odysseus is really bad at. Dang. He really does, doesn't he? He doesn't lie. How do you know when Odysseus is lying? His lips are moving. Okay, let's give Thomas a round of applause for that. That was really good. That was really good. But Aeneas tells the truth. What are some other responsible things that Aeneas does? He actually doesn't get his men killed. You know, he actually let some of his men actually survive. That's pretty good. What else? What other kinds of... Go ahead.
He doesn't get as off course. This
No.
went all over the place. He just kind of got sidetracked by one awesome chick. And then like,
That-
oh
that he
yeah,
later-
I should leave.
That he later abandoned and ruined the cultural competence.
But at least he didn't get captured by one chick and then
And
another
start a
and
lifelong
then stabbed aside.
rivalry.
Yeah. Let me get this straight. You know, Circe was cute, easy on the eyes. You know, Calypso, the same thing. Dido, he really respected her mind. I'm so glad you do. Okay. Other things, other ways in which, how does Odysseus match up with the public affairs mission? Okay, your name is, all the way in back of Jeremy. In the white t-shirt, you, yes. Okay, Jesse, what do you got? Is Odysseus got a public affairs mission thing going? Yeah. Well, don't make faces at me. You know, have the strength of your convictions. I mean, if you're wrong, I'll just say, what are you doing in college, son? I'm kidding. Go on. How is he not public affairs-y? Okay, go ahead. Your name is? Asher, hit it with your best shot.
Not basically because the only reason he ever left home in the first place is because he was dragged there, and then after he, got to war, all he wanted to do was get back. So.
Karen.
And then he aggravates a giant and gives them their address to his country, which is not very public affairs-y.
Sam.
He's a lying coward and just gets through by telling lies and cheating his way.
Yes. Good. What else? Who else has got something as long as Bethany?
As far as like ethical leadership, he wasn't that great. He wasn't a great leader.
He stayed faithful to his wife.
More or less.
No one
He
else.
sent all his men out to be killed, basically.
Oh, yeah, this was really great. Remember when they landed on Circe's island? He divided the guys up into 2 groups, and Group A will bravely and heroically hold the fort, while Group B goes and sees what the heck that smoke coming out of the forest is all about. Which group was Odysseus in? Yeah, he heroically, he's like brave Sir Robin. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. Odysseus is fun, but he isn't public affairsy.
That's why you want to party with him.
That's why you want to party with him unless it's Channing Beckham is being played by Aeneas. But Aeneas is the guy who does what he's supposed to, the guy who is dutiful, the guy who is mindful that he has to go found Rome. Okay, the guy who's going to go down, he's not going to found Rome without talking to his dad first. And that's why I'm convinced he's not that much fun to read about. There's this great big huge public affairs blanket cast over everything, and that's not bad. I mean, was the world a better place because Rome was so great? Yes. But do we have to hear it all the dang time? And here is Snuffleupagus the Ninth. He will lead. What is your name? You're yawning. Yeah. Austin. Okay. It's enough to make me yawn too. That's my point. It's not going to catch you between, maybe he does tell it at excruciating length. But the collective for Aeneas, the collective comes before the individual. For Aeneas, service to the state is the highest good. For Aeneas, doing the right thing by dad is important. For Aeneas, learning the lie of the land, looking around you, paying attention, being culturally competent, that is important. It's important to do the right thing, even if you're having a high old time with a beautiful and brilliant and sexy Dido who wants to have his baby. If the gods decree that you've got to say goodbye and go found Rome, that's what you got to do because you're Aeneas. It's not really a heck of a lot of fun being Aeneas. It's not a heck of a lot of fun reading about Aeneas. On the other hand, whose empire won? Aeneas's or Odysseus's? In our next exciting class, don't be putting those books away yet, we're going to find out about Dante's Inferno, which is not really that hard to envision in this room at this time. I want to thank you for playing along, and I'll see you on Thursday.